everything I do, I don't want to do anything that's intellectual. I don't even believe in intellectual learning. I mean, just nodding your head and reading from a book or sitting in a lecture hall trying to get that grade or teaching to the test, which is what we're doing a lot in school. I want real, experiential, applicable. The learning has to transform. It needs to break out of that box. It needs to break out of that jail cell, which is a classroom. Real, tangible, practical learning. Give it to us, okay? The focus is all on grades. The focus is all on numerical value and letter grades, okay? But again, no piece of paper is larger. I love what you said there, Sean. No piece of paper can truly measure who you are. It's great to get a degree, don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful accomplishment, but what is beyond that page? What is beyond that? What have you gotten that? What have you received that you can leverage in the real world that we can't find in a resume, in a CV, or a cover letter? One of the, most successful businessmen in Malaysia, I posted this quote on my Snapchat and Instagram. One of the most successful businessmen, I think it said something like the wealthiest, his name escapes me, you can go to my Instagram and find out, stated that he never hires based on MBA or PhD. He hires based on attitude. What's your attitude? And Richard Branson actually confirms this too, that he doesn't hire people who have the necessary skills or the training. He hires people who are passionate, excited, creative, intelligent, okay, and are humble and want to actually engage and want to grow. It's a type of individual. um, really about self-investigation and self-inquiry, and this is not original to me. This goes back thousands and thousands of years. Having a real, true conviction about who you are and what makes you do the things that you do and what makes you behave in certain positive ways, negative ways, what's leading to frustration and chaos, and what's leading to harmony. I think, Sean, that the more you dive into you, as Aristotle says, once you understand more fully, once you fully envelop who you are, and you know who you are, and you go all in on who you are, then nothing can touch you. Neither foe nor friend can ever touch you. Don't get me wrong, you're still a human being. You're going to have some shit go down. You're going to still feel frustration and pain and anxiety and all that, but it doesn't stick. It's not so sticky. The problem with most people when they experience something is it sticks and it pollutes their experiences moving forward. It taints the present, it taints the future, and it inhibits you from experiencing things in a real fresh, new way. The more you'll understand other people's behavior, because we're really not that different. When you really strip away all the sort of idiosyncrasies and the nuances that make us individual, when you strip away all the sort of kind of decorations, at the core of the core of the core, 10x core, we're all really, 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 um, we're all twins. We're all twin brothers and sisters, identical. Everybody, there's a reason why we all cry at the same things. There's a reason why we all laugh at the same things. People are really not that different. The media would have you say, the media would paint this picture that everybody's basically, a megalomaniac, narcissist, selfish, crooked, corrupt, out to do no good. But the media only covers 2% of the population. Don't ever forget this, Nez Nation. The media only covers 2% of the population, okay? The other 98% of us, okay, the other 98% of us, it doesn't cover that, because that's not a very, that doesn't get ratings. That doesn't get the dollar bills, right? So the murderers, the rapists, the ISIS, the crazies, the nutbags, the nut jobs, they get all the spotlight because that's what gets ratings. But the other 98% of us, we just want to do our thing sensibly and peacefully, raise our families, hopefully have some happiness and some good times. We're not that different. We're not that different. It always feels good to talk about shit. You ever notice that? It always feels good to talk about shit. It just does. We're social animals. We love to share things. It's in our nature. It's in our DNA. It's in our being. Talk about being quotient, right, Sean? It always feels good to talk about shit. There's people who get paid $300 an hour just to sit there and listen to you talk. When something beautiful happens to me, or even not so beautiful, something maybe chaotic or tragic or frustrating, it doesn't mean anything to me unless I can share it with my wife. That's when it truly has value. So it always feels good to talk about shit. It always feels good to share about, your life and what's happening. Hence, social media, right? Social media would have zero value if it wasn't for something that was inherent in us as human beings. That we love to share our experiences. We love to share our thoughts. We love to share our lives, period.